And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. He will not fight Lamont Roach again. He will not fight Tefimo. He will not fight Inao. He will not fight those guys. That's just not who Tank is.
Tank has spent his entire career dealing with accusations that he avoids the toughest fights. Critics have always pointed out how he never fought Vasily Lomachenko when the Ukrainian was at his peak, how he sidestepped Devin Haney, and how he didn't seem eager to take on Shakur Stevenson. And now, after the most controversial fight of his career, fans are once again saying the same thing. This time, it's Lamont Roach Jr.
I already signed. My first contract is signed for
Tank has spent his entire career facing accusations of avoiding the toughest challenges. Critics have long highlighted how he never fought Vasily Lomachenko when the Ukrainian was at his peak.
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed. He kind of rolled with it, but after that, you can see him.
How he sidestepped Devin Haney, and how he showed little enthusiasm for a showdown with Shakur Stevenson. Now, following the most controversial fight of his career, fans are once again voicing the same concerns. This time, it's about Lamont Roach Jr. For years, no one had come close to dethroning Tank. Every opponent he faced was either knocked out or completely dominated. But on the night he fought Lamont,
that he won, like, do you think the best thing going forward, they should just run it back, have a rematch?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I think a rematch is definitely called for. And I think probably, the sooner the better.
Roach Jr., something was different.
Roach
didn't just survive.
Let's work on a deal.
He made it a real fight.
We can get in there.
He went blow for blow, hurt Tank, and most importantly,
4 or 5 months.
Left the ring believing he had done enough to win. The judges didn't agree, scoring it a majority draw, but the boxing world was divided. Many felt Roach had exposed Tank in a way no one else ever had. The moment the fight ended, the demand for a rematch was immediate. Right after the fight, Davis began dropping hints that a rematch wouldn't be happening anytime soon.
His fans might not even want him to run it back because they might fear that he could lose again or he could draw again. Tank might go find some other little dude
Soon,
to pull up. And
his first words in A,
it's business.
the post-fight interview were vague. When asked if he'd run it back, he dodged the question and instead talked about how Roach wasn't as tough as people thought. Weeks later, as pressure for the rematch started to build, he took to social media saying, "We'll see what happens, but right now I've got other things to handle." That was enough for many to believe he was looking for an escape route. Roach
Is that the one you want next?
Roach's camp immediately called him out, accusing him of trying to avoid the rematch. Now, Tank has finally admitted it. Not only is he not rushing to fight Roach again, but he has already set his sights on another opponent. When asked about the rematch, his answer was clear. It will happen, but right now, I'm focused on something else. That was all it took for fans to go into a frenzy. This is exactly what many had been expecting. From the moment the first fight ended, people had been saying Tank would find a way to move on without giving Roach another shot. And now, with his latest
at all that it could get overturned, and what'd you think when they upheld it?
Admission, the criticism is only getting louder.
He didn't break the rules.
Once again,
A lot of
people are calling him a fighter
take a
who
knee and thought he
carefully
broke a
picks his
rule, but,
opponents,
hey,
someone who doesn't want to face real
they did
threats
the right
back to
thing.
back. If Roach was able to take Tank to a draw, what happens in a second fight when Roach comes back even? Stronger? That's the question fans are asking. Tank's refusal to commit to the rematch is only adding fuel to the fire. Roach, on the other hand, has been relentless. He has made it clear that he wants the rematch immediately and has called Tank out on multiple occasions. However, Tank's camp sees
a boxing aficionado, but I'm disappointed when I hear him say that we won't be able to see the rematch.
these things differently.
And
They
we're
even
still in
believe
the
that
first
Tank didn't
quarter,
break any
right?
rules.
So that's kind of
His team even went as far as to say that Davis and his camp are scared of what might happen in a second fight. That statement alone has only made the situation worse for Tank, because, whether it's true or not, it's something that a lot of people actually believe. Tank has never been in a position where the public was this uncertain about him. He's always been the dominant force, the knockout artist who left no doubt about his victories. But for the first time in his career,
draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we take it?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon.
fans are questioning
I'm
him.
hoping it's going to be soon.
For the
Let's say
first
that.
time,
What is soon
there's
to
a
you?
real
When you say
debate
soon
about
to
whether
me,
he is
I'm
as
thinking a
unbeatable
month.
as people
I'm
once
thinking July
thought.
for sure.
His
Roach
decision
stepped
to
into the
delay the
ring as the
rematch
underdog,
is making him
but he-
look even more vulnerable. Of course, Tank's fans argue that he has the right to move on if he wants to. They say that he is the A-side, the superstar, and that he doesn't owe Roach anything. If Roach really wants the fight, he can wait. That's how boxing works. The biggest names call the shots, and Tank is one of the biggest names in the sport. But even some of his own fans are starting to get frustrated. They want to see him in fights.
Jonas shed some light on the negotiations for the rematch. While he didn't give too many details, Jonas did say that the second bout between Davis and Roach Jr. is all but finalized. Let's hear what he got to say right now.
Important question on everyone's mind.
That
How
prove he
close
is the
rematch?
best.
How big
They
will it
don't
be?
want
How
to
close
hear
is it getting
excuses
done?
or delays. They want to see him settle unfinished business.
In my mind, it's
And
a done
now,
deal, but there
the
are
Roach
formalities,
fight
but it's a
is at the
done deal,
top of
and
that
it's not
list.
far off.
The more Tank talks about his other plans, the more people will assume he is ducking Roach. It doesn't help that he still hasn't named the other thing he's focused on. If it's another big fight, why not announce it? Why keep it a secret? That's what has people suspicious. If it's a fight against another top name, then maybe he has a point. But if it's just another hand-picked opponent, the criticism is only going to get worse. Fans have been waiting for years to see him take on the best. Now, when he finally has a real challenger right in front of him, he seems to be backing away. Whether it's strategy,
I think that just gives them more motivation to go out there, do the rematch, and as well, the people want to see it. You know, that kind of gives it the controversial look into it. It makes it more intriguing to everybody and want to watch the second fight.
All right, what happens in the second fight? Same fight, or what do you think?
No, I think Lamont's going to push more, but I think that even gives
ego,
Tank a little
or
bit
fear.
more
Only Tank
openings
knows the real
to
reason.
maybe
And
even
however,
finish the job
even if
better.
Tank
But it
might
goes
have
to
the
show
final
you, I
say
mean,
on whether the
hunger needs
rematch
to
with
be there.
Lamont
And I
Roach
think
Jr.
Tank probably
happens,
needed this too
not
to
everyone in boxing is eager to see it take place just yet. GervontaDavis has made it clear that he has other plans, and those plans don't include watching Tank step into the ring with Roach anytime soon.
I feel like me and Lamont Roach
stylistically, it's the hottest fight in the weight division. Yeah. Lamont Roach stood right there with Gervonta, the hardest puncher in the division, right? Ooh. So put him up against me.
Why?
I'm not going
because
nowhere.
Kesan sees something bigger for himself. And he's not afraid to make it known. Fresh off his dominant win over Dennis Barrick, Kesan is holding on to the WBO lightweight title and looking ahead at the biggest names in the division. But his vision isn't just about chasing belts. It's about controlling the narrative. And that's exactly why he's now talking about facing Lamont Roach Jr. himself. This isn't just about making a big fight. It's about positioning himself as the real future of the lightweight division. Yathamaying. Timing couldn't be better either. The controversy surrounding the first Davis-Roach fight has left a bitter taste in the mouths of fans, and many still believe Roach deserved to win outright. A fight between Roach and Kesan Davis would do two things: give Roach another massive opportunity, and more importantly, allow Kesan to make a statement before Tank even gets the chance. Kesan's interest in fighting Roach is more than just words. During an interview on the Danza Project, he made it clear that he sees their matchup as the most exciting fight in the U division. Me and Lamont Roach stylistically is the hottest fight in the weight division for sure, he said, giving Roach credit for the performance that earned him so much respect. But respect doesn't mean hesitation. Kesan is ready, and if he gets his way, he'll fight Roach before Tank ever steps back into the ring with him. This throws an entirely new twist into the conversation.
He should have lost the fight. I mean, he should have had a point deducted. There's no doubt about that. But two, people criticised the Roach fight. I knew it would be a good fight because we know Roach is a good fighter, but people in boxing know that Roach is a good fighter. Now it's giving him another fight. Because if he would have beaten Roach, he's kind of backed in a corner to fight Shakur Stevenson.
If Roach and Kesan,
but now he's got a rematch. It's actually much bigger than the first fight.
Rematch?
So
if Roach
yeah,
loses,
I think he'll be more
Tank
switched
suddenly
on
has
for
the
this
perfect
maybe,
excuse
Roach
to
is a
move
good
on,
fighter. It won't be
claiming
easy.
Roach was never that good in the first place. If Roach wins, the rematch becomes even bigger, but now Kesan has inserted himself as a major player, and Tank has to deal with both of them. Either way, this isn't just about one fight anymore. It's about how the entire division shakes out. Eddie Hearn has already made it clear that if the rematch does happen, it's going to be a bigger event than the first fight. Now, Davis has got
I feel like Tank overall, like the bigger picture, he just wasn't focused for real. He, doing a lot of arguing in the ring and just a lot of stuff that wasn't like, he wasn't just focused. He wasn't all the way locked in the ring.
a rematch that's actually much bigger than the first fight, Hearn said during a March 27th interview with Fight Hub TV. But does that mean it's actually happening? Nothing is signed yet, and the longer Tank stays quiet, the more suspicious people get. Hearn added, I think he'll be more switched on for this maybe, but Roach is a good fighter. It won't be easy. That's the part that keeps getting overlooked. Tank didn't dominate Roach. He didn't cruise to an easy win. He struggled. And for a fighter with Tank's reputation, that's a serious concern.
Personally. Naj, you got anything else from Lamont?
Yo, last question. I just want to know, how has your life changed since the fight, man? Obviously we follow each other on social media. I see your followers went up, all of the other stuff kind of going up. How has things changed for you since the fight?
Controversy surrounding that first fight isn't going away anytime soon.
I ain't gonna lie, I got
the moment
security.
Tank delivered that illegal knee to Roach, everything changed. That moment should have cost him the fight. If the referee had made the correct call, Tank would have taken his first official loss as a pro. Instead, he got away with it, and the fight was scored a draw. The backlash was immediate. Fans called it a robbery, Analysts pointed out how Tank should have been disqualified, and even Roach's team knew they had been cheated out of
Tank want a rematch. Do you let me know now? Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%.
again?
It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Okay.
what should have been a career-defining
Do you want
win.
to fight again in the Barclays Center?
The fact that Tank wasn't
I wouldn't
punished
mind,
for the
but
knee,
I'd
nor
love for it to be in
the
DC.
self-imposed timeout he took right after,
I love
only
for it
made
to be in
things
DC.
worse. However, there are still those who think Tank was just not focused.